Shelby Oaks is finally here, the directional debut of Chris Stuckman. One of the most crowdfunded movies with a $1 million budget. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. It's a pretty low budget. 1 million, 1,000. I don't know. It's a pretty low budget for a movie. And getting this big of a wide release always made this movie a little, exciting. Chris Stuckman's a movie reviewer that me and a lot of people grew up watching, and he's one of the reasons why I really love movies. And I've been really excited to see this movie. Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is gonna be one of my biggest letdowns of the year. I'll get into it, but I didn't hate it. So let's get that right away. I did not hate it. But let's go into what the story was. This movie follows a main character named Mia. Her sister Riley was part of a YouTube group who went missing, and for I think like 15 years, the town and her have been trying to find them. And in this movie, something happens and she gets a little bit of evidence of where she could be, and she's trying to lock down this small bit of a path dug out for her. And that is so far the story of this movie. And let me just say, the first 25 minutes is really amazing. This movie is a real blend of just a horror movie, a normal one, with found footage. And the found footage parts, I think, are some of the best parts of the movie. When there's found footage in this movie, it is just so good. Like the first 25 minutes or so is kind of like a documentary, and it's really cool how it did. I was a little annoyed because like, oh, I didn't think this is what the movie was gonna be, but it just kind of switches, and it's when it switches, oh, it's so good. I really did love what they did with the story setup, with the story idea, the concept of it. Now the execution of the end of it all, we'll get into my negatives. But overall, I did love the setup. I loved the concept. I think overall it was good. I enjoyed it. The acting, I've heard some of my friends say they didn't like the acting, they didn't like the line deliveries. I didn't really notice anything that was like, that's a them thing. Personally, I thought the acting was pretty good. Nothing like whoa, but there was a lot of good moments. I really did like it a lot. Um, I think Riley, when she's on like some of the footage, she's really good, amazing in this movie. Main character Mia has some good moments too. Uh, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. Keith David's in this movie for like one scene, which makes me question why he was in this movie. I feel like he should have been given a bigger role, but that's just my opinion. I really the scoring of the movie was fine. I didn't notice anything like bad of it. It did its job for us on the parts. I really do think Chris Stuckman is really good on building up scares. I do not get scared often in movies. I'm very used to jump scares. I'm very used to scary moments. There were a lot of moments in this movie that made me go, "Oh, oh, whoa, what the fuck?" Like it was a lot of good moments like that. Um, so overall, I did I enjoyed this movie a lot. I did really like it. But getting my negatives, this is one of those movies where I was very much like, it's kind of one of those movies where you're just like, oh, we're about to end the movie. This is it, and that unfortunately is what I'm going to talk about, and I think is the biggest negative for this movie. And that's the story. As much as I love this setup, I love most of the beginning of the first act. I think the first act's solid. The second act is mostly solid. That kind of big final act that just wah, flopped really hard. I just feel like there should have been more. Again, I think for what this movie was going to and it was steering to, and I think the concept of the ending and everything is a solid concept, but it just kind of jumped there. There wasn't really, I don't think, the most necessary build up or this, oh, we're here, oh, this is gonna happen. It just didn't. And there was a lot of things that I feel like were cut from the film where they just didn't have time to do. There's a lot of, stuff. She grabs this like knife at one point, and then, eventually she drops it. And you think, they focus on this, they have some shots focusing on the knife, and she has it, she drops it, and you think, oh, that's gonna be important. That's gonna be Nope, never comes back up. And that was a big major issue. Just like, why are you focusing on this? What are we doing there? I think overall this movie was made really well, and it looks really well. I really like a lot of the editing. I like a lot of, there's a lot of moments I love. But I really think there just should have been more. There just should have been more story. There should have been more build up. There should have, I feel like when they get back to the house at the very end, I won't say why or what's happening. And, for people who've seen the movie, they know what I'm talking about. That should have been way longer. I feel like there should have been a moment of her fighting against the other character and the villain of this movie a lot longer. Like, not longer. I feel like there just should have been a larger moment to it all. Because seriously, this is one of those movies where it just ends. And it's just like, oh, really? So I was really let down by the story of this. Like, this just story just kind of flopped near the end, and I did not very much enjoy it. Um, but I still do think that this is a strong directional debut for Chris Stuckman. And this doesn't make me jump off the bandwagon and go, I don't want to see more of this. I think if a studio finally gives him a real fucking budget and a really good script, and unless he writes one himself, um, I think he could make a really good movie. And I don't think, and I really hope that this isn't the negatives of this movie. And I think this movie is gonna get a lot of harsh reactions just because it's a guy who talked shit for many years on other people's movies, and now he's got a movie with a lot of shit on it. So I feel like people are really gonna go hard in this movie. I have friends who went really hard in this movie last night when we got done watching it. I had two friends. One of them gave it 2 stars in Letterboxd. The other gave it a literal half star. But we don't really. His opinion is not very valid. He hates everything. Okay, so we won't get into him. That's a. I should make a whole video about him. I'm kidding. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be really aggressive with how bad this movie was. But personally, for me, and maybe because I've grown up with him, I'm a little easy on it. I understand, I guess, on things. And I'm really excited to see what comes next. And I really do hope that a studio gives him a bigger budget. And I hope that whatever story he gets next, he can do it a lot. He can do a lot more with it. And I am still really excited to see where all of this will lead up to, and I can't wait to see his career grow. That is, I think I'm repeating myself a lot here, so I do apologize. But overall, I think this is a really strong one, and I still think you all should go to the theaters and support this movie, even if you don't like it or you don't turn out to like it. You should still go watch movies you don't think you'll like, because movie theaters, I love that experience, and I really hate that. A lot of people when they see a movie they don't like, they don't want to go. Get. But this is how we get more movies made. This is how we get a lot more original stuff made. Just go by and supporting a movie. And I really want Chris Stuckman to make another movie. I want him to get a second chance. Um, so overall, I'm gonna have to say biggest letdown of the year for me so far. I had a lot of hype for this movie and it just did not come out very well. But I still think it was fine. I think it was fine. I gave it like a 7 out of 10. I didn't hate it that much. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.